AITA for outing my husband to his family for missing our son's birth? My F-26 husband M30 Jerry works in a company that requires him to travel a lot. When I was pregnant, I used to stay with my in-laws whenever he had a trip. His parents are saints. They adore me and always offer to help with everything. They say that I'm like the daughter they never had. Before I gave birth, Jerry told me he had to go on a business trip and he was most likely going to miss our son's birth because he was going away for 2 weeks. I was upset, but he explained that he was doing this to be able to provide for us and our son. I wasn't okay with it, but it's ultimately his decision, though I'm sure if he had explained to his company they'd have probably given him time off. Jerry asked that I go stay with my family instead of Huss because he said that if they found out that he was going on a trip and missing our son's birth, they'd give him grief. I agreed but went to stay with my family. Turned out that Jerry lied to his parents about being there for our son's birth and asked them to not visit till later because he was allegedly worried for our newborn and wanted me to get rest. Last Sunday, his mom and dad finally visited after he returned from his trip, and I returned home after staying with my family for a couple of weeks. We were talking about our son and Jerry's mom asked Jerry about our hospital stay. He said that I didn't stop complaining about everything and that I was being difficult to everyone. I was shocked. His mom laughed and said all women are like that after they give birth, but I told her that yes, but not all men abandon their wives during one of their most difficult times and miss their first baby's birth over a work trip that could have easily been rescheduled. Jerry's mom asked what I meant. I told her her son wasn't there for the birthday of his first child. She unleashed her anger upon him and his dad joined in. A huge argument ensued and Jerry started lashing out, then told me we had to leave. In the car he went off calling me childish and petty for outing him to his parents and tattling on him like that. He said that I had no right to even complain because it wasn't like he was on a vacation or golfing trip but was just working hard to be able to provide for us as the breadwinner, and I should respect that and be thankful instead of stirring shit and trying to gain his parents' sympathy while turning them against him. I got home and started crying while arguing with him. He still said I was out of line to do what I did and act like his work isn't as important. We stopped talking after that. And from what I understand, his parents are still pretty much upset with him and he's saying I'm the reason why he's being harassed by them. I think that I went too far by telling them. AITA? NTA, if he hadn't painted you in a negative light, you wouldn't have retaliated to set them straight. He caused his own problem. Why should you sit there and take the slight? Have to say though, his willingness to talk like that about you to his parents is really disrespectful, as is how he spoke to you after being found out. Also, having you help cover his lies to his parents shows he knew skipping the birth wasn't a good choice. His parents are likely upset by the lie as well as leaving you unsupported. If he's going to make a decision like that, at least be prepared to stand by it. NTA. So he was okay throwing you under the bus and saying you were being difficult and expected you to just go along with his lie. He could have easily said, you know, it was such a whirl I can't really remember, and at least then he wouldn't have thrown you under the bus. NTA. And welcome to the preview to your future where you and your child will always be second priority. His parents and you are right. Also, he called you difficult? In front of his parents? He abandons his pregnant wife and unborn child for work. You go through with the labor and childbirth without your husband and father of the baby there, and he calls you difficult. Methinks there is more to this trip than just work. It may not as well be the case, but he might be cheating, cause I don't think any company will fire him, cause he cut short a work trip for the birth of his child. Those can always be rescheduled. Always. So this wasn't a, I have to go or they will fire me, kind of situation. NTA, congratulations on your second child. NTA. What an incredibly immature asshole husband you got yourself. Lying so mommy and daddy don't get mad? Afraid to ask for time off for the birth of a child? Having his wife shuffle around other people's homes to keep up his lie? And then to top it all off, freaking mocking you as being grumpy when he wasn't even present. That's insane. Let me turn giving birth into a nightmare for my wife and then just for fun, decide to make up crap about her and spread those lies around too. NTA. What else is he going to miss because he's providing for his family? Worst part is that he was making it out like you were a pain as the ass in the hospital. That was an asshole move. For me, that would make me reconsider being married to him. NTA. So he gets to lie about you but you can't tell the truth about him? If he feels he needs to hide what he's doing, then he either needs to stop doing it or be an adult and own his actions. Also, this guy is a pathological liar. I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw him. Guarantee his parents aren't the only ones he convincingly lies to. Oh honey. NTA. Not to be rude, but your husband is a major awe. He is manipulating you and it's very clear. Bless your in-laws. Congrats on the baby. NTA. So he gets to throw you under the bus by painting you as some troublesome patient in the hospital and making it seem like you were being difficult. But you can't tell the truth? LOL. NTA. If my husband ditched me during childbirth, he would be my ex. He's a shit husband and a liar now too. NTA. How did he think this was going to turn out? The birth story is something that's told often after the arrival of a new baby. His lie would involve getting you on board and your parents and anyone who saw you in the hospital. This is so weird. The strangest part is that he didn't even bother to ask you to lie to his parents. He just assumed you'd go along with it. Such a strange story. NTA. Your husband voided the contract when he tried to make you look bad. He literally tried to throw you under a bus and you turned around and kicked him off a train platform instead. He got what he deserved. He not only missed the birth, but when he was asked about it, he went low? Why didn't he claim you were a trooper and got through it all like a champ? Why did his lie have to paint you in a negative light? Your husband is a complete jerk. Stand up for yourself. If he hadn't disrespected you and his parents by lying about how you supposedly behaved in the hospital he wasn't even at, you would never have felt the need to show him as the lying liar that he is. NTA. And his attitude in general is pretty sucky. NTA. He started all this by lying. Which okay, you went along with that and that's between you. But if he didn't want his lies exposed, he shouldn't have stirred shit and lied about you being difficult. It sounds like he was trying to turn them against you for some reason, and his accusation of you doing that when you were defending yourself against his lies is projection. Why would that be? Also, he seems to lie easily and a lot. What else is he lying about? Congratulations on the new arrival and hugs to you. Can you maybe get some distance and go stay with your parents for a bit? NTA. Your husband is a liar. If he lied about something as serious as being at the birth of his first child, you need to think about what else he's lying about. Jerry might be doing some shady extramarital stuff. You need to get him all the way together and don't let him talk to you like that ever again. I bet his job probably didn't even know you were pregnant. NTA. And there's something really messed up about a supposed grown-ass man being this nasty to you. When you call him out for not just lying about the whole being there thing, But then to make the lie more extravagant by painting you as some sort of pain in the ass while he gets to pretend to be the adoring husband. You agreed to the BS about him being there. And TBH, I'd really consider whether or not you want to continue enabling this lying. But you didn't agree to have him try and make you look bad by making up stories about how difficult you were. NTA. He lost all right to secrecy when he started making up stories about you being difficult and complaining. If he wants you not to make him look bad in his parents' eyes by telling his parents about his real, questionable actions, he has no right to make you look bad in their eyes by making up stories about bad behavior you never actually demonstrated. NTA. What the heck? He wasn't even there, and the first and only thing he has to say is something negative about you being difficult with everyone? It's like he was trying to throw you under the bus in an attempt to take attention off of him and the fact that he's lying about attending his own child's birth. Sorry. But don't dish it out if you can't handle it. Lol, he lied. Not you. He's the NTA. If he's taking trips for his job, my guess is that he's a salary employee. So if he takes time off, he'll still get paid. That's why his excuse about taking the trip to provide for the family is false. Also, he could have applied for FMLA. I did, and I got about 6 weeks off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.